Hello and good morning and welcome to the special morning edition of the live stream live. I am your host, Joshua Schubart, and I hope you're having a beautiful morning. I have two drinks today. One is literally coffee because it's early, and I have water so I don't die. So I hope, we are live on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram as usual. So if you have questions or comments, I'm more than happy to answer them. Or respond to your comments as long as they are appropriate and not weird as per usual. So I have a very special morning, wonderful guest for you today. Her name is McKenzie Murphy, and she is a Broadway stage manager. I've known her for a very long time, and she has been killing it for the past 15 years or so. But we'll get to her in a few moments. So as per usual, let's talk about, what's my breakfast for this morning? What did I eat? I forgot already. I had a meal prep. It was really boring and not really breakfast. It was like chicken, broccoli, and rice. So I could hit all my protein macros. I'm a real boring guy. But yeah, so that's what I had for breakfast. Oh, and coffee with collagen in it so I can, look young and beautiful and things of that nature. Anyway, so let's see. What am I watching? So I watched the season finale of Severance yesterday. I know I'm a bit late, but I have two kids, so please forgive me. Are you watching Severance? If you are not watching Severance, you need to go buy Apple Plus, pay whatever it is, and go watch it. I've been beating this drum for a long time. This show is incredible. It is one of the most well acted, well written, well everything shows that I've seen in a very long time. And this finale was one of the most incredible hours of TV that I have seen in years. It was unexpected and explosive, and every thread came together in a way that it was supposed to. And go watch Severance. It's amazing. It's going to win Emmys, I think. I haven't started season 2 yet. Gonna binge this weekend. Yeah, go watch season 2. You let me know what you think. Send me a message. It's awesome. I'm also in the middle of Foundation season 2. I love it. I've read all the books. It was an Isaac Asimov trilogy, won the Hugo Award. He's the grandfather of modern science fiction. I was talking about this show last week, and I had a comment about how season 2 feels a lot more convoluted and strange. And I will agree with you, because it's like that in the books too. There's multiple 100-year jumps and people's kids and stuff like that. But it's still very good. It's well done. It's amazing visuals, well written, and they do cut a lot of the stuff out from the books. But with a 10 episode type of thing, there's not a lot of fat that you can have, but they're doing a good job with it. That's also on Apple Plus. There are things on Apple Plus that you will never see because Apple doesn't tell anybody that they have any content that you can watch. Them and Amazon are the two worst people at letting their audiences know that they make stuff, even though they spend billions of dollars on making stuff. Apple Plus, if you're looking for another streaming service to add to your 900, that's probably the best in terms of entertainment value for what they're making. Pretty much everything that they make is great or is at least good. There is not a thing that I've seen or that I've read about that is like, oh, this sucked a lot of ass because which is great. Amazon's got a lot of stuff that's not that great. Um, oh hi. Oh my God, it's you. I love you. Thank you. I love you too. Thanks for being here and watching and for being a fan for as long as you have been. Uh, Cool. What have I been reading? So I've been reading the next installment for me of the Dresden Dresden Files, written by Jim Butcher. I'm currently reading Peace Talks. I think there's only one more left. For those of you that don't know about the Dresden Files, it is a serialized fantasy series about a crime solving wizard, I guess, if that makes sense. He's like a very powerful magic user who solves paranormal crimes and like fights the like underworld of like evil and things of that nature, and I really like it a lot. It's action packed, a lot of fun, and um one of the few fantasy books, even from the beginning, that kind of talks about and handles toxic masculinity in a really interesting way, that you wouldn't expect. Like, it's this guy who's like the ultimate badass who's constantly trying to keep himself in check and like trying to understand. Um, there's a lot of moralistic sexuality going on, like a lot of questioning and a lot of making sure like there's a lot of consent going on, which is not a usual thing for like your like amped up action hero that is also a wizard. So I really like it a lot, and it's like book like 18 or something. I don't know. I've been reading them for a long time. And I just picked up, because I've been avoiding it, because he has so many books, but I picked up Brandon Sanderson's first book of the Mistborn trilogy, and that'll be my next thing. That'll be my next adventure. Is he has like something fucking crazy, like 40 books or something. Hey everybody, hey chat, how's it going? It's good to see you. Hi, hello, good morning. And yeah, so just that's what I'm reading now. How am I feeling? Um, I'm still very optimistic as far as things are going in our country, stuff like that. There's a lot going on that is extremely troubling. With the LGBTQIA plus community, with people of color, with the Department of Education, basically everything that you've been hearing about, everything that you've been reading about. It's all very real and it's all very troubling. I will say that now I'm not a constitutional scholar, and I barely learned about it in school because I don't think they taught civics anymore in high school past the 1970s, and I'm sure that was on purpose. But constitutionally, and I've been doing a lot of reading, and I've been doing a lot of like watching constitutional lawyers and things of that nature. What calmed me down a bit was when it came to all of the executive orders that have been happening, is that it largely is there to sow chaos. A executive order is not a law, because the White House and the president do not make laws. That is our Congress and things of that nature. They create the laws, and then the president enforces the laws. So an executive order is like, hey guys, I'd like this to happen. Can you help me make this happen? This is part of my agenda. And so what's happening is they're making like a billion of them, and they're sowing chaos everywhere. And with Elon Musk and his children army fucking everything up, it's creating a lot of chaos and a lot of misinformation. Like, for example, like these departments that are being shut down and people that are being fired, that they can't, like it's a constitution. Like the Congress needs to shut down these departments. You like can't just shut them down. You can fuck it all up and you can sow a lot of confusion, but you can't just say like this doesn't exist anymore, because that's not a thing. Like, a new structure needs to be approved, put into place, and there needs to be a vote. So there's a lot of, and so what happens is they do an executive order, and then they go, am I going to get sued this time? And then if they don't, then they're like, oh yay. But if they do, which they're getting sued on literally everything that they're doing. But we're not seeing that in the reporting, right? So the order goes out, and then it goes fucking crazy, and then they get sued a month later, and then it gets either held up in court or overturned in court a month after that. So, but we don't see the last two parts. We see the first part, and then everyone losing their fucking minds. So I would say, in order to rein in any psychopathy that explodes in your brain like it has been with me, is watch it happen, read about it, see what it is, feel the outrage if you need to, because it's the way that you feel, and you should feel however the fuck you feel. And then wait a little bit, see what happens, because likely the ACLU is going to sue them because that's what they're there for. And then see how it shakes out. And then if shit shakes out weird, then you can start to like clamor and go fucking crazy, like with the spending bill and Chuck Schumer, who I called 1,000 times and yelled at him, and it didn't do anything. But yeah, so that's what I'm feeling. I'm still feeling okay. I'm still feeling optimistic. Things can turn around. Our economy can turn around. Everything can always get better. If we stick together, if we band together as a people, and we make our voices heard, and we bother our elected officials like crazy, things will change. They listen to you. When you don't say anything, when you just like let it skate by you, that's when nothing changes and things go poorly. All right, coming down off my soapbox. Thank you for listening. Oh, what do you say? What is this comment? It's a very clear attempt to usurp power by whatever means possible. I agree, and that's very much what it looks like. There are constitutional guardrails in place, and there have been. I mean, they've been eroded a bit, but only a bit over the years. So yes, it is an obvious power grab, and an obvious transfer of wealth to the people that are already wealthy. But it's not obvious to everyone. So here's the thing. One last thing. It's not obvious to everyone. And while it may seem like an easy thing to punch at these people and to call them pieces of shit and to make fun of them, it's not. What happens when people come to an understanding of what's actually going on, and then everyone else that feels like that they already knew has been calling them assholes for a long time? And while that might feel like the thing to do that feels good, you won't pull people onto your team that you've been pooping in their mouths for the past 2-3 years. So I would say give yourself more grace and give other people a bit more grace, and see where you can all meet in the middle on some things, and just try and have a back and forth. All right. Great. Thank you for listening to me. Now, I'd like to introduce McKenzie Murphy. McKenzie Murphy and I have been friends for a very long time. We don't see each other as much as I would like, or as much as she would like, because we are both working our asses to the bone in the entertainment industry. She is an equity stage manager, and I'll let her explain what that is when she comes on. But she has been absolutely destroying it in Broadway, and I'm very proud of her. She has worked on, where's my PDF? She has worked on Gutenberg, Sweeney Todd, Into the Woods, Mean Girls, Sunset Boulevard, Lion King, Cinderella, and Enemy of the People, Peter and the Starcatcher, and the list goes on, just to name a few. And she's currently working on the Broadway show Death Becomes Her. She's an incredibly talented, wonderful, beautiful ray of light who spends all of her time making other people shine and look incredible and feel incredible. And she needs to feel this way too. So I'm here to try and do that, and so that you can have a peek behind the curtain at the people that run all of your favorite Broadway shows. So without further ado, McKenzie Murphy. You're muted, McKenzie. You're muted.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Something would go wrong.
Hmm.
For having me. That was a lovely introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. It's all true. Like you're so cool, and I'm so lucky that I know you. Like you're an amazing
Ditto.
person.
Ditto.
Ditto. Thank you. Thank you. So you are an equity stage manager. For
Yes.
people who don't know what that is, what do you do?
Yeah. So a stage manager on a musical is kind of like the center of a wheel, if the building is a wheel. And so we are the liaison between all the departments. We disseminate a lot of information. We keep track of the schedule. We make sure in the day to day of the show that you see the same show 8 times a week, a little bit of quality control, even though everyone in the building is top notch.
Yeah.
It's just like a little double check system.
Yeah, so you are basically, once the director leaves and the show opens, you are responsible for maintaining the integrity of the show.
Yes, the production
So
stage manager, and then there's 4 of us on the show, but yes, that's our job for sure.
so how do you do that? Do you take copious notes in the rehearsal process, like when when there's a cast change? How do you maintain, like, for example, like The Lion King, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That has been up for decades, and Julie Taymor hasn't been there in a very long time. How do you maintain that type of show?
Yeah, so on The Lion King, I was really lucky. I've subbed there for about 7 years, and so I cover a lot of rehearsals for them. And I also sub backstage or when I'm not working on Death Becomes Her, but, they are lucky because they have a resident director and a resident choreographer. A lot of like, not all of Broadway shows have that. Our show has a resident director and choreographer and also our production stage manager. So my position is more of like, getting the information and then making it happen in the rehearsal room or in the theater, but those 2 positions really have bibles of information and listen to what the director says during the rehearsal and said, oh, that's a great note to give the new so and so when they come in and stuff like that. So yeah, but The Lion King, I mean, those people are incredible, and they have been there for a very long time, and I mean the show is incredible still, so it's a big job to maintain all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, like, I know everybody is professional all the time, but
Yeah.
how do you handle, say, like there's a new actor in the part, and they want to do things that are like kind of wildly different to how it's meant to be. Do you Are they allowed to kind of like embellish a bit, or do they have to fit into kind of what was all like made already?
Yeah, that depends on the production, right? So it depends on the creatives and it depends on the information or the material. So sometimes when we have a standby go on at Death Becomes Her, they'll riff differently. And so as long as you have those conversations ahead of time, and I think like our music director and our associate directors, all those people have these conversations in the rehearsal, like, hey, take this and make this your own. But we'd really love you to do this and this and this. I think what's important for when we have new people in the part is just if you can do the physical things the same way, just like you move this, you're going to sit here because the automation's moving here. Those things are important, but usually I think nowadays people are allowed to make it their own to a certain degree, which is exciting to see everybody's different take on the
Yep,
roles.
that's great. So
Yeah.
as long as you don't mess up any of the cues, you can do kind of whatever you want.
Well, it's just a safety thing, yeah, for sure. I mean, and there are parameters, no lie. I mean, you'll get corrected a little bit, or you'll get those. People will set them initially, so they know what the expectation is. But yeah, I think it's neat when people can option up, or they can tell a joke differently, or use words differently. Yeah,
Right. So like for example, like you were on Gutenberg,
yeah,
and that was a very like free flowing
hmm
improv madness show. There was like new people almost every night.
yes,
So obviously there was like a set thing that like both Josh
Andrew. Yeah.
and Andrew
Yep.
did. But they moved in that framework pretty
Yes.
freely. But that's a unique show where that's how it was made.
Hmm.
Whereas like the one that you're working on now is one of
Hmm.
the biggest things that you've ever worked on, right?
Hmm.
Like it's
Yeah.
extremely tech heavy.
Yes.
Can you talk about it all? Like not like specifically, but like
Yeah.
it's big, it's giant, and it's huge. Why? How? Woo! Tell
Yeah.
me.
I've been so lucky with what I've gotten to work on. I've been on really cool projects, but I have never been on like a massive technical show. Mean Girls was big as in its own way, but automation, deck automation is when things move on and off on the stage. Fly automation is when they fly in and out. You have rail cues, all the drops and things like that. So I was really excited. I was really nervous, but when I got this opportunity, I was excited to have that like challenge myself a little bit because it definitely was something I was uncomfortable with. And it makes your job, the safety is huge on these shows. It's massive. There's very little room for error. And so um you just have to really be on top of it. And I wanted to push myself to do that and to call the show and to, but it's just huge. And we're in the Lunt-Fontanne, which is an incredible theater, and we are
Mm,
so lucky to be there and it's beautiful, but we are within an inch of, and we knew we were going in there. It's designed for it, but it's just a big show and there's a lot of locations and a lot of scenery. And so yeah, it presents its own challenges for sure, but I'm really excited that I did it because I'm like, okay, I can do this. I got this. Like
have there
it's
been
going
any
okay. Yeah.
accidents?
Not I always think like on all these shows, not as many as you would think with how many little things that could go wrong that could make something huge go wrong. Like in Chicago, a recliner kept coming off of the pallet it was on, so that would stop the show for a hot second. Or you just have to have a stagehand go out. Or we've had some um, airflow issues, so things blow around a little bit more or, more or less each day, but nothing crazy, knock on wood. Like we've been very lucky. And also, again, like everybody is so talented and on their A game there that yeah, everybody's
Great.
watching every single little thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because what people don't know is that you tend to rehearse the show not in the theater. So
Hmm. Yeah.
you're like in some other space, usually in like a random New York City studio,
Yeah.
and then you don't really get to be on stage until what, like
Yeah.
Tech Week, right?
Yeah.
And then it's usually like the scenic design is like the exact space of the stage because they're not that big.
Right.
And you need to utilize every space. Like I remember when you're doing Mean Girls and I got the opportunity to like come and look,
Hmm.
everything was up in the eaves, like
Hmm.
because there was no wings.
Yeah.
So every set was flown up and then flown down and then changed out and
Yes.
flown up and
Yep.
flown down, and it becomes this really like intricate interweaving dance that the audience never sees, but you are controlling.
Yeah.
Um, so it becomes a thing where there's all this magic happening that the audience has no idea about, but it's an intricate weaving dance and it's just as incredible as what you're watching, but you never get to see it.
Yeah, it's equally as choreographed and sometimes more, I would say.
Yeah.
And then especially if you start to get subs in, we all want to take vacation, and it works really well with everybody who knows the show. And then you have to teach new people, and they could be in the wrong place. I could be in the wrong place watching the show at and so it's really intricate. But it's like I think that's my favorite part about stage managing is figuring out once we get into the theater how to make this all work together.
Yeah.
And the crew is just incredible at yeah, they have great ideas. They're super consistent. This doesn't work. Let's try that. I don't know. It's my favorite part of the process, I would say.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
really cool. We got a really cool question. It must be challenging wrangling so many different personality types. How do you deal with conflicts?
Hmm. Honestly, I would say there's not as many conflicts as everyone would think. I try to be very gracious and I meet people where they are, and I try to give people grace um but I think if there are things going wrong and you're giving people grace and it keeps going and going, you just have to be direct with communication. And We have, HR, we have ways of dealing with things, but honestly, and especially on this show, we've been really lucky. Like we are really lucky to have a group of people that want to be there together. And but yeah, it's like any job. You just have to. Everybody has a different personality. Everybody has a different conflict type. So you just kind of have to read people and stay calm and get the information. And, or just sometimes, honestly, people aren't even coming at us with conflicts. They are just coming at us. They just want to vent. They just
Yeah.
want to get it off their chest. And then, okay, do you want me to do anything about this? No, great. You're just telling me. Got it. So you just have to just normal communication, just at a little bit of a heightened level because everybody's in the entertainment industry.
Sure. Well, so that, like, on that same note, like now,
Mhm.
Broadway has become as uh PR'd as most TV and film, and the actors and music staff and like everybody has as much scrutiny as like Brad Pitt or like any of these
Yeah.
people. How does that interfere or interact with day-to-day performance, week to week performance? Do you have to calm anybody down a lot because of shit that like happened on like Twitter or like a horrible like YouTube comment or anything like that? Does that come into any type of play?
It does. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's just like talking it out and see, we make adjustments if we need to. And um yeah, I mean, social media is wild, and so it's such a great tool. But I agree with you. I mean, people are very scrutinized, and we have a lot of Broadway fans, and they're wonderful. But yeah, of course, things get to people. But I think for the most part, unless it's like a huge issue, it's just like talking it out or this happened. It's not. We will make adjustments if we need to in the show for stuff like that, but it doesn't happen as much as you would think.
It's very interesting how shit has changed. Like
Hmm.
when like we were first, breaking in, like having a phone was like you would get thrown out of the theater.
Hmm.
Now it's like people have phones and you're like, please don't make them make noise. Please don't
Yes.
record this. This is fucking copyrighted.
Hmm.
But people still do it anyway, and they still post stuff and they post people's bows and blah blah. And
Yes.
it's just, um, is there a way to control that, or is it just kind of like you're just kind of like, well, fuck, that's just where we are now. It's 2025.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, right? Because you want them to post the bows because that's free publicity,
Right.
but you don't want them to post like we have a like a gag in the show where it shows a little bit of skin, and you don't want that posted, right? So we have a text chain with our company, or our house manager, and she's incredible, and she'll have the ushers go down, and at intermission they'll delete it off their phone and go into the trash and delete that. So I mean, the actors are always
Oh
saying
wow.
like,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, and you can't get everything. Of course, everything's still going to be, their stuff's still going to be posted, but we'll text like, hey, second row center, they're wearing glasses, yada, yada, yada. They've been filming the whole time, or they just took pictures when we had the naked scene, or it's not naked, but it's just a little bit of skin. So
Yeah.
the actors are very good, and they'll come out and like literally be walking by you, be like, center orchestra, 6 rows in, white t-shirt, yada, 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 and just like keep going.
But
And
that's so
so,
annoying. But that's so
yeah, it is
annoying.
annoying
Like,
for them as well.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, also on Freestyle Love Supreme, like we had these yonder pouches and we locked all the phones up. Because that was definitely like a very vulnerable show, and they're saying a lot of things that like just come to their head when they're thinking it. And that was people were mad. I mean, we had people leave the show because they didn't want to have their phones locked up, or someone said, I'm a doctor, and we're like, amazing. We will literally tell you where we are. If you get a phone call, you can come right to us. We will unlock it. It's just, we had a couple people like storm off, and I was like, okay, like that's okay. You don't have to, if that's too
Yeah.
much for you, you don't have to come.
Like if you can't watch a show and you need your phone to like watch a
Yeah.
live,
Hmm.
then maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe you
Yeah.
should go eat a sandwich.
Yes,
Calm
exactly.
down.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
let's rewind.
yeah.
Uh oh no. What happened? Reconnect me, please. All right, so I just got disconnected from TikTok for a moment. Sorry,
Okay.
TikTok, if you're upset now. Anyway, so let's go back to the
Yeah.
beginning. To the beginning of your wanting to do this. Why did you want to do this?
I didn't know what a stage manager did until college. which is wild. I loved theater. I was so lucky my parents were able to take me, locally or in the city a lot. And I was like, I want to make people feel like this. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do this. And I thought maybe I'd want to be on stage, but I never was crazy passionate about that. And I don't have what it takes to audition. And I just don't have, I'm not built like that. And I knew that pretty quickly. So we went to Stony Brook and it was theater arts, right? So it was like general,
Yeah, which I
but it
think
had
is
a lot
great.
of great, yeah, I do too. It had a lot of great specific classes, but it was overall. And I don't know if you remember, but our sophomore year, we had to take a production class in which like people were like, you're going to be the carpenter, you're going to be the electrician, you're going to be the wardrobe person, you're going to be, everyone had to do something in the show. And, and you had to do a specific role. And so Dave Barnett, I mean, honestly, I told him the last time I saw him, but like he's the only reason I'm doing this. Like, not the only, the initial reason I'm doing this. He
Yeah,
was like,
he
I
was
feel
our
like,
professor at Stony Brook University for
yeah,
people who don't know the
yeah, sorry,
the
yeah,
the name. He
yeah,
ran the tech side of the theater program. He was an amazing man, and he was
yeah,
also like a machine. Like the
yeah,
things that like him, and I think he had like a couple of people that worked with him, like Pan
yep,
and a few
yep,
other folks, and
hmm,
they would produce some of the most incredible scenic design things, and they would do all the
yeah,
lighting and painting and everything,
yeah,
and
all in house. It was
all
wild.
in house. And
Hmm.
they would use us at times when we needed to get some like credits or whatever to like work on the sets, and
Yep,
it was truly a well-rounded education in the theater,
yeah,
which is important because
yes.
people can be assholes when they don't understand how everything works. Anyway, sorry, go.
No, yeah, no, thank you for saying that. I should have been like, our professor. Yeah, he looked at me and he said, okay, I think like you should stage manage. I think it was Grapes of Wrath, but it might have, I'd have to look back, but I think that's the first one I did.
Grapes of Wrath.
Didn't I mean, we did that
Yeah,
together,
yes.
but I think that's the first show I did. It was like that year, I think. I could be, my mind is going a tiny bit, like my brain is a little mushy, but I
What
think
okay.
that was the first show. And so maybe it wasn't, maybe it was in the other theater. I'd have to look back on this and I'm sorry I don't know that.
No,
But
it's
he was like,
you
I
gotta
think
leave now. You gotta leave, Mackenzie.
so he was like, I want you to stage manage. And I said, okay, what does that mean?
Mm,
And he's like, you're gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. And I remember like I took somebody's calling script and was like, okay, now you write like he gave me all the tools, but I had no idea what I was doing. And he told me along the way, here's a rehearsal report, here's a a rehearsal schedule, here's these things. And I remember sitting there calling the show and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like it clicked. I was like, I think this is so cool. And yeah, I felt immediately like this is what I want to do. And so, I mean, thank God he saw that in me because I don't know what I would be doing. I mean, I have no idea. I think I was a little lost. Like I knew that I loved these people and I wanted to be in theater, but I had zero idea what that meant.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, when people see it and they
Yeah.
encourage it, it's certainly helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
we're kids, like we were
Yeah.
so young, and
Yeah.
it's like we're just kind of like trying to figure it out.
Hmm.
And there's nothing more galvanizing than like I found the thing, like I found the
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's like sometimes the thing is almost impossible to do. Like
Hmm.
doing this work successfully is nearly impossible, and you have to literally smash your body into a wall over and over and over again until you break through it to just get your first thing.
Hmm.
um so it takes a specific type of person and a specific type of mindset to get there. It's a
Hmm.
focus, it's a hyper focus, and it's a thing that you've always had, that I've
Hmm.
seen you have. It's and wherever it comes from. I mean, like I've met your parents, I've been around you for a long time, and they've been uh always been really really supportive of you.
Yeah.
But it at the end of the day, it comes from you. For some reason you were like, this is hard as fuck, but I just
Yeah.
found it, and I'm gonna go get it. Do you know why? Do you have any idea why that's inside of you?
I don't know. I think I've always been driven. My mom always likes to say I showed horses growing up and through college, and she said, I think that really like cemented like you being organized and you having to plan ahead for things and memorize, you just being responsible at a young age. And I honestly don't think I knew how hard the business would be, even though I've been very lucky and given a lot of opportunities. I don't think I knew how hard it would be to get into or to maintain when I was trying to get into it.
Right.
So it's probably just like being a little naive, being like, I want to do that, you know. So like I know that I show up and I am driven and I'm dedicated and all these things, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just it went well enough each time that I wanted to keep doing it. And there have been times along the way where I've been like, I think this might be the last one, you know.
Yeah.
But then I get a gift of a show that right after that. It's like the universe sends me like, hey, you needed a little pick me up. Here's a good schedule or an easier show or whatever. And but yeah, I don't know how I mean, I was really lucky. I again don't know what I would have done. I when I was graduating, Nick Mangano, our chair of the department, we had a stage management class, and Jenny Slattery and Tim Seaman taught it, and they were both working stage managers, and they both have gave me. I mean, Tim, I was a PA on my first Broadway show. I interviewed for it through him.
Oh, nice.
Um, and so, I mean, I was given for sure, given a leg up, and which is why I was excited to go to Stony Brook because it's close to the city, but not in it, and it has all working professionals. So that's huge. I
Uh-huh.
mean, you know,
Well, yeah, like that was all the like acting teachers too. Like we
totally.
had people that went to Yale with Meryl
Yep.
Streep, and just like
Yep.
people that were in the industry still teaching us what it was like to do it, or at least walk in it with our heads held high.
Yep.
Um, which is unique because a lot of programs aren't that. It's like people that haven't been in the industry forever or are so far out of it that they
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck is going on. Um, for me, it's very fulfilling, right? Like to help create a thing that can potentially change people's lives is very nice. Like
Mhm.
like it feels
Mhm.
very good. Um,
Mhm.
and it became a thing for me where it was like I have to do this at all costs. Nothing
Yeah.
can stop me. I truly believe that I do this work to change people's lives
Mhm.
for the better. And I think that's what most of us do. That's how most of us feel,
Yeah.
because it's so fucking hard, and it's the hours are so goddamn long that
Mhm.
if you didn't feel like this was so important that people needed it, I don't know
Yeah.
why we would do it,
Yeah.
because there are plenty of people that do that thing McKenzie with, like, I found it, I want to do this thing,
Yeah.
and then they're like, I fucking can't do this
Mhm.
thing. It's too hard. Like I have to sacrifice almost everything. Like I gotta like
Yeah.
time and relationships and
Mhm.
money and things I
Definitely.
like, and yeah,
Yeah.
like so you either like I remember when I was first going through acting school, like being told in the beginning over and over again, if you can do anything else, go do anything else. Go
Right.
do it. Like if you find that you're good at like plumbing or fixing cars or doing anything, just go do that. Don't do this. Like
Right.
if you have to do this, like if you'll die without doing this, then you have
Mhm.
to do this.
Mhm.
And that's what I see in you. It's like one of those things where it's like, I looked at your resume, and you don't have to have any more education after undergrad, but you
Mhm.
don't.
Mm-mm.
You literally were like, I'm gonna be a fucking stage manager. Like I remember talking to you during Brockched Day on Wednesdays in the
Oh,
fucking sack,
oh, good.
which
Yeah.
was it was the best day of the week for food in our school. It was broccoli cheddar soup, and we used to chop it up
So good.
and talk about shit.
So
But
good.
yeah, so fucking good. But like I remember you when you found it, you were like, I fucking need to do this.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that we downplay a lot when we were like successful in it. Like we're like, oh, I'm lucky, the universe is there, and that's not true. But at the same time, it's like you're fucking willing it into existence. Like
Yeah.
you're very good at it, and you're like but you're gonna fucking see that I am.
I'm
Right?
trying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. And
Um,
also, I mean, I think like I was lucky in a way because my parents were very supportive and I knew like I knew I could try it. I could take a leap and try this. I could take the jobs that didn't pay, like it's not, I didn't come from like an incredible amount of money or anything, but my parents were like, yes, we can, I could take a leap. I had that a little bit of, I worked my butt off for $200 a week when I started, but like I was very lucky that I was able to take the opportunities I took because they weren't paying very, very highly in the beginning. And the only thing I'll say is like I totally agree with you. And we've been told this our whole lives, like if you can do anything else, do it. The only thing I will say I feel like differently now is like if you want to try this, now is the time. Like when you're younger, outside of college, like right outside of college, like if you think you want to do this, like try it now before you have kids, before you have a mortgage, before, like
Right.
that's the only caveat I would say to that. Like I would agree. If you think you want to be something else, these hours are not worth it. This is, but I mean, when you're young, if you have a year to try it out, like see how it feels, and that's the only thing. Like, yeah, one of my family members is like, do I want to, be a nurse or work in TV and film? They like love film, and I'm like, try it out, get nuts, like see. I don't know. I think it changed a little bit, but
No, you should try it. I don't think it's
yeah,
changed that much. I think the way in might have changed a little bit, but
yes,
like everyone's way in is totally different and unique. Like no one has the same story in
that's what I
all
love about
aspects of
this
it.
industry. A
Yeah,
hundred
like
percent. There's
e
no right way to do it at all.
no,
Yeah.
everyone arrives how they arrive.
Hmm.
Um, and we were talking about this a bit during the pre-show when nobody was listening. But yeah, like just how much things have changed in the industry, mostly for the better,
Hmm.
just with more types of people getting in, less people harassing you, touching your body, and things of that nature. Things have changed quite a bit. I mean, I'm not an attractive woman, but I was still touched a lot. I'm
I
s-
bet. Yeah.
I'm still touched now,
Hmm.
not as much as I was, but like as a larger guy, you just kind of like you're like, well, this is just my lot in life. This is what
Hmm.
happens. People
Yeah.
touch my muscles or my fucking back or my beard or they whatever, and
Yeah.
I can't do anything. I just got to stand there and I have to take it because I'm a big guy and I can't look like I'm violent. I have to be like, oh, I'm an affable guy. um Luckily, but that's like my story, and then there's like 40 other versions of that same story, and
Totally.
it's just like people take advantage of their power and or whatever they feel
Hmm.
like they can take advantage of, and they will. And perhaps it's because of the consequences machine, which is we were kind of talking about earlier, that people take more pause now.
Yes.
um
They think before they speak or do. Yeah.
which is good, which is how
Yeah.
it
We
should have
should be.
been in
We
the
should be
beginning.
doing that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how it should
Yeah.
be. Um, but it certainly was more of like of trying to like navigate that and avoid that, and there being no consequences when those things happened. And then
Hmm.
there was a long period of time where if you even brought it up, then you were done. Like you
Definitely.
would never work again. You just had to
Yeah.
kind of like speak about it and be like, blah blah blah, it's a piece of shit. Just don't be in the bathroom with them or
Yeah.
whatever.
Avoid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But now things are but now
Yeah.
things are they're both different and a little bit easier in many respects, but it's also a lot harder because of the advent of the internet. And
Hmm.
like anyone with like a picture can be like, I'm an actor, here's my picture,
Yeah.
or like in anybody in crew or whatever can just be like, yeah, I've worked on this before.
Hmm.
And there's unless they're like worked with a person that you've worked with before, there's no real way to know anymore because
Yeah.
so how do you suss that out? Like how do you like do you give people a shot, and if they fuck up you fire them? Or is it like, yeah, like how is it different? Because it's much more open now than it was before.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, I haven't had to fire anybody. But I'm very trusting until you show me I shouldn't trust you. So that's like my approach. But yeah, I mean, nowadays it is much wider, a wider net, but the business is also still so small. So you're able to do pretty quick, like vibe checks. How is this person around famous people? how did this person deal with this? You know, you can really send a few text messages and kind of um, get a read on people. And also, I try to give people, like, if I'm not sure that they're going to be great on like a 3 month project, if I have a week workshop or reading, I'll try someone new that I don't know or I've never heard of, and they sent me a resume, you know, because that's a great time to feel people out, and it's not a lot of time together. So if we don't vibe, and if I don't love the way you work, I have 4 days with you, and then like, thank you very much, that was great,
Yeah.
you know. So I try to I'm not, I mean, we haven't been doing that many workshops and readings, and also I'm not trying to work all day every day anymore.
Yeah.
But sorry, a door just slammed. But yeah, I try to give people, I like trying new people. I like, you know, everybody brings such a different thing to the table, and everyone just needs a little someone to just help them get into it. You just need someone to vouch for you one time, just to, you know, and then work begets work. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky with the relationships I've formed over the years with yeah, there hasn't been a lot of negativity.
That's great.
Yeah, truly.
Wow. That's fantastic.
I know.
Yeah. Rare. It's rare. It's
Yes.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. Well, we gotta we're making them feel all kinds of emotions. Much love. And then inspirational stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Thank
I'll
you.
try.
I
I'll try.
love it. Okay. So we sort of talked about like what a stage manager does in like a more
Mhm.
general way, but like for the
Yeah.
people that don't know, and I know it's a thing that you've been kind of like just doing for years and years. But can you give a quick breakdown of, like, I know it's a lot, so it's not
Yeah.
quick,
Happy
but
to.
like what does a stage manager, like what is your responsibility? Like you
Hmm.
make schedules, you like
Hmm.
all that stuff. Can you just do it?
Yeah.
Tell me. Tell
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So there's 4 people on my team, and the production stage manager, Rachel, has definitely a more macro view of everything. She has to look 3 months ahead. We have to, you know, it has to be a much bigger picture. And the three of us in the assistant positions are able to just have tasks, and we definitely still have to anticipate needs, but it's much more micro, and like, this need, you know, there's a rehearsal happening. This needs to, we
What do you
need to
mean
have
by
these props, like,
needs? What
yeah.
needs?
So do you want me to start in rehearsal, or do you want me to start where I'm at right now, like in a full run, like production? Is a full, like, right now better?
Yeah, do right
Great.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. So during the day today, people will call out, or we have someone on vacation. So around 4:30, my boss will send a huge group. Here's who's in the show tonight. Here's what we're doing before the show. These, you know, we're collecting for Broadway Cares right now. All the information you need to know. And my team will get there, and we'll make something called an in out. And we make inserts. So when you see a Broadway show and somebody is out, or there's, you know, a plate replacement on, an understudy, a swing, a standby. We print all the inserts for the show. We give that to house management. We make an in out that has all the information. There's sub dressers in. This is who's in tonight. Here's who's making the Broadway Cares speech. This is the rehearsal. We need the couch. We need the shovel, and we need the stairs for a stair fall. Right? Like, we just put this huge amount of information. Try to be as efficient as possible on that. And then we go around to the different department heads and hand that out. So then what that tells a carpenter or sound is, I need to get these mics ready. Okay, we need the stairs, so we have to do preset a little bit differently today. Or so they will disseminate the information to everybody they're talking to.
So if a person
And
is out, you will run a rehearsal that day of the show?
yes.
Okay.
And so like tonight, every Tuesday we do a fight call for 2 of the fights in the show, just for safety. And then we will do a stair fall. We have 2 new people learning the stair fall, so we'll work on that because the stairs will be out for the fight call. We're just trying to be efficient, right? And use the stairs are a big monster in my show. Like, we love them, but when they're out, everything has to stop. And so
Okay,
you
yeah.
try to like be efficient about it. And then after that, we have somebody on vacation. And so the person they do all their lifts with will run that before the show, just so everyone's comfortable. Now, if that person's on for 7 shows this week, we just do it today. And if there's any issues, we'll do it again, but that should be kind of good.
Cool.
And then at 6:30, we call half hour. The actors get there at 6:30, as you know. And so we will make an announcement about the in out. Here's what's happening tonight. This is all the information you need to know. And then I will go and check props. So I usually run stage left, but we all rotate. So there's stage left, stage right. We have a floater track because the show is really big. And so that person, Luke, was incredible. He literally picked up the cues where Lee and I couldn't be there and made a track. You know, like, we couldn't be in the basement at the same time as being off stage. So all these things, he just put together a full track. And then we have a caller. So tonight I'll run stage left, and after the crew is preset, I'll go through with a list that I made in rehearsal that changed up until we opened, because it changed
Right.
every day. And I'll check the props, and I just communicate like, hey, this is not here yet, or so and so's on. We need to use this other type of prop because, you know, if it's personalized to somebody. So that's basically my day, like today. And then I'll run stage left, or I'll call the show, or we kind of rotate, which is nice because it keeps it fresh. You know,
That's
you do the
great.
same time 8 times a week, so it's a little um, could hit your head against a wall a few times if you get, you know, I think we're like 150 shows in, so you're
Yeah.
just, you know, we're getting comfy. But yeah, so it's just like a double check system, and then if stuff comes up, like the other stuff I do each week is I prep like the payroll for my boss, so she doesn't have to worry about that. And then at the end of the week, she'll go through and check it. I prep a weekly schedule so that she also doesn't have to be like, run, you know, performance 149, and I'll look at all these other, like, here's where rehearsal is, here's who's covering it. I book all of our subs.
Right.
um four of us are pretty involved in Broadway Cares, and that is another job of its own. Right now we collect money, they pick it up, we sell posters and playbills, we have to get those signed. And then yeah, I mean, I do all the ordering, like the menial stuff is like I do all the ordering for the building, any like first aid paper. We use so much paper in that building.
Yeah.
um what else do I do?
Oh, nothing.
He's pretty busy. The second I get there, it's like we always say, we're like, we're so happy. I mean, this show just clips. Like you walk in and it's busy. Yeah, and like we have a rehearsal on Friday, and I need to go talk to wardrobe about what pieces we need for that rehearsal. So it's just kind of like anticipating, looking down the line and saying like, here's what we need, or here's the rehearsal bag packed for the sub who's going in today at 1, you know, stuff like that.
So here's the thing, and this is why I wanted you
Did
to
that
do
answer
that.
the question?
No, you did, and so for the people that are watching and the people that will be hearing this when this goes, I don't know, the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
You do an incredible. You and your team do a
Yes.
Herculean amount of work every motherfucking day,
Yeah.
and that's just for the show. Like, will we? Oh God, my microphone. We could get into rehearsal, and I might have to have you back on so we can speak about that, because we are running out of time,
Yeah.
which makes me
Yeah.
sad. This went so fucking fast, but what you do, what you and your team do, is essentially, it is exactly as the term says. You are a stage manager. You are managing literally every microcosmic aspect of what is going on around you. And there are other departments and there are other unions, and they're all responsible for their own stuff, but you're making sure that they all did all of their shit correctly. You are checking every prop, every light, every piece of set, everything that gets put on stage, everything that gets taken off stage, every fight, every squib, every blood splatter, everything, payroll, paper, like everything. And it takes a very specific, very detail oriented. I mean, fuck, McKenzie, like you could be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but you're choosing to be an artist, to be in the arts. You know, like
Hmm.
you are like every Broadway show is its own business, right?
Hmm.
Is its
Hmm.
own machine, you know, and people like you run it. The like average person, like I'm in the industry, right? And I have
Hmm.
run a board for like school and things, and like for
Hmm.
like other
Hmm.
projects that I've done, but I was only running like a lighting board, right? Like you run
Sure.
boards and you do fucking everything else, right? When and I come in, like, yes, like I'm an actor and I have to go do all my acting shit to make the show work, but that's my only responsibility. The
Hmm.
like prop guys and the local one guys, like that's their only responsibility. You and your team have 500 fucking things that you have to do, and while people are very thankful, most people do not really understand what it is that you do.
Hmm.
It is
Yeah.
incredible. It is
We're
incredible,
we're
Mackenzie.
really we have such a great team, and what's so nice about our team is like everyone brings something different to the table. So it's like so balanced, and it really feels like so supported. And also like I really mean it. Like, I mean, we have just our crew is incredible. Everyone's on their A game all the time. They're all looking ahead. Like I just really appreciate it because it makes our job so much easier, and you don't always get that. So this building has just been like such a gift because yeah, we have the A team across the board. It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, we got another comment. What an amazing insight behind the production. That is so cool to hear about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Um,
also, like, I didn't even know when I was coming on here, I asked my friend, I'm like, "What's your elevator pitch for what we do?" Because it's large, and I wanna be like, "We see the same show 8 times a week, we make sure you do that," or, we disseminate like, it's just a weird thing to talk about because it's far reaching, and,
it
it
is.
depends on where we are in the process, and so it's hard to answer, but it's, like, nice when you have, like, a direct question, you're like, "Okay, great, I can talk about that aspect of it," but,
Right. Yeah, because it's not
yeah,
an it's not easily it's not an easy thing to speak about, like because you're not an office manager, right?
right, right.
You're a everything.
Mhm.
You're handling personalities, you're making sure everyone is safe, you're making sure everything runs, like you're the first and last line of checks and balances,
Right.
defense, emotional life, um payroll, you're like handling like producers personalities,
Mhm. Mhm.
the owner of the theater's personalities, like you're incredible. I don't, like it's a thing that would crush a normal person, crush them, smush. It's magic, it's magic.
Oh, thank you. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. It's nice to talk about it because I really enjoy my job, but I don't ever really think about it being like, I do it every day. We do our things every day. So you're like, oh, I don't know. And then you talk about it, you're like, oh, that is kind of neat?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
needy.
no. Yeah.
So we have some time left. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the doing it 8 times a week.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
it's grueling. It's a long time. You get almost no days off. You get one union mandated day off a week,
mhm.
and it used to be every Monday, but now it's maybe not. Right?
Yep, it just depends on the show. Most of the time it's Monday, but if you're in previews, it could be a Sunday. And yeah, so I always say to my mom, I'm like, don't try to guess it. Like right now, yes, we're in the next year. It's like it's a Monday, but it does switch up a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because when I was younger, I just wanted to be on a long run, not 5 years, just like a year, like,
Yeah.
and then that is a full different skill set. Having to do the same thing every day and be on top of it and not get on a 2 show day, sometimes you're like, did I check props already or do I need to do it? You know what I mean? Like your brain just starts to be like, um, it's like when you drive the same place every day. Sometimes you're
Right.
like, I didn't even remember getting here, which so you just have to keep yourself very present because there's a lot going on live and the whole thing is going on live, but there's a lot going on and you can't really stop thinking for a minute because that's just not um yeah, it's but it's an interesting thing, and the day off a week is hard. I mean, we have a great schedule right now because we have a show at 3 on Sunday, we have the evening off, we have Monday off, and Tuesday I'll go in today at 4:30. So it is a good chunk of time, but I will tell you, like, the 6 days a week, it definitely adds up, and like you were saying earlier, missing things when you're younger, like, now I have boundaries where I'll be like, "I'm actually gonna go to that wedding," or, "I'm actually gonna go to that funeral," or even if it's someone I would care about's birthday party or something, I try to make those things now instead of missing everything, but our
Right.
schedules don't line up with anybody else's. I mean, I we were just talking before, like I want to come out and see you guys and it's like we have to pick a random Tuesday at 11 a.m.,
Yeah.
like we did for this. Like so yeah, it's like it's you're grateful and then you're also exhausted. Like
No,
both
it's
are true,
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and there has been a push to kind of like shorten the week
Yep.
for Broadway. And I guess we'll see how that goes. Like it's gonna be a negotiation process. People want to make their money.
Yep.
Um and at the end of the day, it's always whether it's TV and film or if it's Broadway or off
Hmm.
Broadway, it's a push and pull but between artists and people that make money off of the arts.
Yes. Yeah.
Um so it's you could still if you do two a day during the week, like if you added a show on like a Thursday,
Hmm.
um, then you could maybe take a show away
Yeah. I
somewhere else. Yeah.
I always think like who's staying open on Tuesday nights? And that's probably, I mean, we're full. It's not like things aren't successful, but I'm like, couldn't we have Monday, Tuesday off and then just add a show on a Thursday or do a 5 show weekend or but who knows? I mean, there's so much business behind it that I have no idea about that
No,
it's
I
just
know.
like I understand, but yeah, it'd be nice to make that adjustment for sure.
So whoever this is says Mackenzie is the goat. Heart
Oh,
face.
that's my friend Emma, and she's wonderful. She's been working with us for a long time. I love her. Hi,
That's
Emma.
awesome. Hi, Emma.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks for
watching.
watching. Yeah.
Um, well, yeah, because we were talking about this earlier. Like I had an opportunity to it didn't pan out, but I had a really good audition for a
Mhm.
film that would potentially shoot in Australia until June. And because of that, I have two young children. They're
Mhm.
beautiful and I love them. I don't want to miss anything. Like I in the past have missed things too. Like I missed my best friend's wedding. I've
Yep.
missed people's funerals. I've missed special events in time because I couldn't. I was like, I have a show, I have rehearsal, blah
Yeah.
blah. But we went out and we got our 2-month-old a passport because now
Mhm.
it's like wherever I go, they're coming with me.
Yeah.
Um, it'll cost a little bit more, but I
It's worth
won't
it.
be able to buy with money
Yep.
watching my 2-month-old walk for the first time when
Mhm.
they're whenever that like happens in the next year.
Yeah.
So like I don't live in the city anymore. I live in a house out in the very boring suburbs so that I can have a yard and a dog and, look at the stars and have a little like
Yeah.
calming time. I
Mhm.
commute for a while, but I don't give a shit, like it's
Yeah.
just like things change a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
For sure.
and
Priorities change,
yeah,
definitely.
and yeah, taking back more of your time, especially in our line of work where you're meant to feel like you're not allowed to do that.
Right. Right.
If you do that, people will think that you're an issue, that you're a
Yeah.
problem.
And
You're not
luckily, I think that's
reliable.
changing. I
Yeah,
really do. I really do, but it's been a slow change.
it's been like
Um,
a
yeah.
glacier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But it's getting better for sure. But yeah, I mean, you're made to think that initially, and then yeah, now I feel like I just got to take my dad to Ireland this summer, and I'll never get that time back. Like, what a special thing to do. And people before I would have been like, what if I book work in July? Like how? And I'm like, then I don't book work. Like I'm
Right, they
just
don't
not.
book
That is a
work.
blackout date. Like
Right,
but that has
which is a
changed. I mean, yeah,
yeah, because, like, it used to be like, "What if I don't book?" And
yes,
then it's like, "But I will."
hmm
Like, when you put in the time and the effort and you
hmm
make connections and people know you and you have, like, this great resume and people, like, you're gonna work again.
yeah,
Like, it's the fear that's put into you. It's
hmm
like, "You'll never work again if you stop. If you
yeah,
stop, you die." It's like,
yeah,
what if you don't stop, you die?
yeah,
I
yeah,
know people who can't work anymore because they didn't
hmm
stop for their, like, medical health,
hmm
and they ripped
hmm
their fucking, like, knees out,
yep,
and these are, like, Broadway, like, amazing
yeah,
Broadway dancers that can't dance anymore
yeah,
because they were like, "I can't stop. I will not
hmm
dance." It's like, "You will dance.
yeah.
Just go get the surgery so that your knee doesn't fall the fuck out."
It's hard though in the moment, with those decisions. It's tricky because especially dancers, like, I mean, it's different now, but like that window is so small compared to like if you're just straight acting or so like
Right.
you want to strike while the iron's hot. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it just I'm really trying to find balance, and my friends are exhausted by the conversation, but and my boyfriend is as not exhausted. He's on it with me, but I just want to find balance. I want to find a way to like still enjoy this, which I very much do, and also have a life outside of this, and also, yeah. I'm just really in a moment of trying to be like, okay, like this makes me happy, but how do I stay here longer and keep this
Right.
going? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Longevity.
Mhm.
It's really important, and
Yeah,
it's normally a
definitely.
thing that, like, only actors get to kind of experience, or it used to be, like,
Mhm,
when you get to a certain level as an actor, then you can literally just start saying no, and you can
mhm,
take a lot of your time back, and if you are, if you're, like, Adina Menzel, people
mhm.
are gonna come and see you no matter when you come back.
Yep,
Like,
totally.
she's about to do a show, I think in August? Is she doing a show in August or soon?
She's
May?
doing one right now, but she
I
might be
know.
doing another one. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and, like, she
But it's
hasn't
been a
been
while
on
since she's been back.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, and then people were just like, fuck it, and just like came
Yeah,
back.
of course. Yeah.
Um, you can take a break. Oh, I got a thing. I got a coffee thing.
I
Oh
was
god.
worried it was gonna be me, so I'm glad it's
No,
not.
it's
I'm
me.
sorry,
It's
you
me.
too.
Mm. All right. Well, it's been like a whole ass hour, Mackenzie.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to connect, and I feel weird because I wanna ask all these things about you, but that'll be when I'm at your house. I know it's an
Yes.
interview, but I'm like, "And you?" Like
Yeah, exactly. Um,
yeah.
thank you so much for being here. I hope everyone that's watching got a better understanding of how amazing it is to be a stage manager, like how incredible of a job it is and how hard it is, because it is so good. I got a bunch of hearts coming into all the chats. Like,
Oh, good.
yeah. And I'll talk to you soon.
Alright, awesome. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this morning, now afternoon. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, thanks for watching. If you're watching on TikTok, thanks for watching here. Send me gifts. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm newish here. And if you're watching on Instagram, hi everybody. Thank you for watching. Yes, that is right. Mackenzie is the best. What is this screen name? Carrie Libre on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I gotta get another cough in because I have to be annoying. But anyway, I will see you next week on the live stream live, and I hope you have a beautiful week. Bye. And